A very warm good evening to all of you. Welcome to the 192nd session of Centaur's webinar series for teachers. I hope all of you are keeping safe and staying healthy. The topic for today's webinar is Mathematics, a journey from fearful to favorite. And the facilitator for this session is Miss Anu Khosla. A warm good evening to you, ma'am. A warm welcome to you for this session of just before I hand over the session to our facilitator, Miss Anu, a brief introduction about our facilitator. Ms. Khosla is a postgraduate in mathematics and a teacher of the same for more than a decade, actively contributing to the growth of senior secondary department as a senior secondary coordinator of Indus Valley World School. She has been given a letter of appreciation from the HR Department of Government of India in 2014 for stellar performance of the students at the secondary level and has been awarded by ILEAD for being an outstanding mathematics teacher in 2019. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am, for this session. Before I hand over the session to our facilitator, Ms. Anu, I would like to inform all the teachers that they will receive participation certificates for this session. So please do fill out the feedback form that will be shared with you towards the end of the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Harsha. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Harsha, for such a warm introduction. So, mathematics, a journey from fearful to favorite. So, let us start. I hope there will be a few takeaways for each one of you at the end of this webinar. So, let us start now. So, I'm starting with a question. So, why do you think that students, they perform well till grade 5 and their performance starts deteriorating thereafter? What do you think that what are the reasons that they are scoring quite high till class 5, but after that all of a sudden their performance starts going down? So if you can please write in the chat box, that will be great. So I'm not receiving any answers till now. Yes. They are scared of mathematics. Yes. Why are they scared of mathematics? Arpita has written. Then in 6, start with integers and algebra. Yes. After 5, the application based. Yes. Very good. Yes. Style of teaching changes. More stress for them. Very good. So they don't understand the concept. Sudden jump in application problems and new concepts and more subjects to manage. Great. So most of you are mathematics teacher and you know the reasons. So I'll just start with that maybe students are not working hard. This is the complaint of most of the teachers, that they are not working hard. Level of mathematics becomes harder. Probably these are the reasons, but primarily what I feel that in mathematics, each and every concept is important right from grade nursery to grade 12. They are learning numbers, they are learning operations on numbers, real numbers, rational numbers, decimals, fractions, and whatnot, unitary method, and everything is required in higher grades also. So where to apply what? For example, if I go to this question, find the percentage increase in the surface area of a cube if each of its sides is doubled. I think most of you are mathematics teacher here, and if you can solve this problem, and if you can tell me that what are the concepts which will be required to solve this problem, if you can please write in the chat box. Yes, too many formulas. Yes, lack of practice, right? So if you can just write down that find the percentage increase in the surface area of a cube, which concepts will be used? Please solve this question and tell me which concepts, or if you know already that which concepts will be used, you can write straight away. Which concepts will be used to solve this question? Yes. Percentage concept and increase of percentage. Right, Arpita? Percentage, surface area of cube, right? Sides of cube, yes, very good. Algebra, yes. So most of you know that this is the, I'm just giving you the solution here, 6 into side square. So surface area of a cube. First, they should know what does surface area means here. They do not know that whether it is total surface area or curved surface area. That is their first problem. Sometimes they use 4 into side square, sometimes they use 6 into side square. Secondly, the dimensions of the cube are not given, so concept of unknowns, concept use of variables, how they are going to use variables. Let the side of the cube be a units. Then they should find out the original surface area will be 6 into side square, which is 6 into a square. And after that, new side will become 2a, and then again the concept of component exponents will be used here. 6 into 2a whole square, which is, sometimes they write just 2a square, sometimes they just write 4a. They square 2 and they do not square a, and sometimes they square a and do not square 2. So concept of exponents is required over here. And percentage increase, yes, they should know how to calculate the percentage increase. And after that, fractions multiplication. Here, both of them are even numbers, 24a square, 6a square, and 6 is the highest common factor. So they can cancel out with this 6 in the denominator. But sometimes it is 24a square minus 5a square, and you will see that they are cancelling 6 and 24, which is completely wrong. These kinds of answers we are getting, and we can see the misconception amongst the students. So fractions, how to solve fractions, that is also not clear to them. So you see, when you are solving these questions, you are requiring this in one question of volume and surface area. You require the concept of, yes, of course, we require the concept of total surface area or curved surface area. We require the concept of use of variables. We require concept of percentage. We require how to find percentage increase or decrease, concept of fractions, concept of exponents. So in this one question, if the child doesn't know, he has forgotten fractions, he has forgotten exponents, he has forgotten his percentage. So if he doesn't know all those things, but he knows how to find the, he knows the formula for total surface area, but that is not sufficient for him to solve this problem. So many concepts are required to solve this one particular problem. So when I'm talking about the reasons, when things are getting accumulated, there are more than one thing, one concept offered in one question. Students need to apply more than the concept offered in the chapter. They start performing badly because their prerequisite knowledge is not revised. So that is why they might be able to apply the concept you are teaching them right now, but they have forgotten their previous chapters. So this is why I think they start performing badly. And most of you have written that application-based questions. Yes, application-based, more than one application is required. So I'm giving you few tips now. So first tip is the reading this. I think most of you know it, that comprehending the question is so important here. So reading the question carefully is the first task. Ask the students what they have understood from the questions. This is so important, the most important step. So otherwise they will keep on beating the bush and they will not know that what they are supposed to do. So first of all, they have to read the question, and we have to ask them that what they have understood from a particular student, not from the whole class. So that we can identify that what are the concepts which are missing out for him. So second is, if he or she is stuck, we have to give him some hints. For example, if we are doing linear equation sum problem related to twice the age, so you do not know what is the meaning of twice the age. So twice the age, sometimes they do x plus 2. So we have to ask them that what is your age now? So maybe 10 years, 12 years, and twice the age will be double of that. So they do not have that concept only. So we have to give them some hints while solving the question. So first, we have to ask them all these things, and we have to try to extract the answer from the students. It has to be a student-centric class. So students should give the answer and not the teacher. So we have to extract the answer from the students. We are concentrating on qualitative teaching and not quantitative teaching. So for quality teaching, we need to extract answer from the students. So next tip number 4. This is so important for grade 2 and 3 teachers. teach them addition and subtraction on the number line. This way, when this chapter comes, integers, this chapter comes in, it is introduced in grade 6 in CBSE board. So when they go to that chapter, we have to teach them the rules for adding and subtracting integers. When there are two negatives, you have to add. When there are one negative, one positive, you have to take care of the sign and you have to subtract. All those things we teach them. But if we teach them addition and subtraction on the number line, they will visualize it, and they will start visualizing the things as they go to higher grades, and they will not require those rules of integers. They will not require. So this practice has to start from grade 2 onwards, when they are learning operations, addition, subtraction. When they are learning that thing, then we should just see. I have given you one example how. So this is -4 plus 5 is equal to 1. So we'll start on the number line with -4. Plus means moving ahead on the number line. So 5 steps will move ahead and will reach out on 1. So this will give me the answer 1. Similarly, if it is 2 minus 3, so 2 will start with from 2. Negative means moving backward on the number line. So we'll move towards the left and move 3 steps, and we will land up on 1. So the answer will be 2 minus, and this is the common mistake even in grade 8 and 9. We find students do not know how to add integers. So this, if we start this practice from junior grades, they will visualize. When they grow up, they will visualize the thing and they will write the correct answer. One more example we have, like -6 plus 4. So I'll start with -6. Plus means moving ahead 4 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll move 4 steps ahead and we'll land up at -2. So the answer will be -2. So this way, if we teach the addition and subtraction on the number line from initial years, they will be able to visualize later on in their higher grades, and they will not make this kind of mistake, and we will be able to reduce the maths phobia. Now, the tip number 5 is related to lab work. So you can show them the flip triangles again at initial years, at grade 2, grade 3. Show them the flip triangles in the maths lab, and you can tell them that which triangles are overlapping triangles. So you are introducing them the concept of congruency. Although that word will not be introduced to them, later on you can tell them, or from moving ahead from congruency of triangles, you can move to congruent figures. They can see the circles, overlapping circles, and you can give them real life example. Maybe a rupee 10 note, they are overlapping each other. Maybe our 2 hands, when we fold in namaste, they are congruent to each other. So this way we can tell them the congruent figures, and this can be done in the maths lab. Then flipping the triangle is so important. They do not know what would the triangle look like if you flip them, if you slide them, if you turn around, because in grade 10, I think we have the theorem, Pythagoras theorem proof and all, and we give them the flipped right triangle, and they are not able to understand that it is a right triangle. So if we show these things to them in the maths lab, so they can visualize that a right triangle could look like that also. So this is the lab work. This is tip number 6, very important one, and we don't need maths lab for this. Show them the hollow and solid cylinder. And this can be done in the class itself. They have water bottles. I do it quite often. I take their water bottles, and they are very much enthusiastic about it. Everyone wants to that I should borrow their water bottle. And then we can show them the height, and we can explain them the curved surface area, the radius, what is the difference between curved surface area and total surface area. When the lid of the bottle is not there, what would they find? Everything has to be explained. You don't have to give them the formula for curved surface area and total surface area. We have to explain them these concepts first. And of course, volume. What do you mean by volume? Volume, the space which will be occupied by the object. So all these things need to be explained. The quantity of water which is there inside the water bottle is the volume. So all these things have to be explained by showing it to them, and they will never forget it. This is called learning by doing. All of you must be knowing this. So learning by doing, if you do these things in class itself, they will remember it forever. So the next tip which I feel that you can do this also in the class. This also, when I take their water bottle, I roll it on my table, on the teacher's table, and we have to ask them that how much distance would be covered in one rotation. Show them this by actually rolling the cylinder. So would you please write down the answer? I hope you people are not sleeping. So write down the answer for this. How much distance would be covered in one rotation? Yes. How much distance would be covered in one rotation? Thank you, Martha. Two pi radius. If the cylinder is rolling, ma'am, not the circle. The cylinder, yes, curved surface area, right, curved surface area, right, right. So all of you are very, very well versed with your subject. I know that. So I was just checking that you're not sleeping. So in one rotation, then you can extract the formula for n rotations. In two rotations, it will cover 2 into 2 pi RH. In three rotation, 3 into 2 pi RH, and in n rotation, it will be n into 2 pi RH. So this we have to extract from the students. Okay. So the next tip, which I feel we can do this in the class, if they roll a circle on the surface, now the circle has negligible thickness. So how much distance would be covered in one rotation? This you can do if a lady teacher is there, they can use their bangle. If a male teacher is there, they can borrow their wife's or mother's bangle and they can do it in the class. So how much distance would be covered in one rotation if a circle is rolled on the surface? And please do it actually in the class. Please write down your answers. Yes, curved surface area, the previous answer, yes. So if they roll a circle on the surface, how much distance would be covered in one rotation? Circumference, great, great, circumference, yes, yes, most of you know, yes, right. Janaki has also written Shah, Vaishali, circumference, right. So in one rotation, again, 1 times circumference, in two rotation, 2 times circumference, and in, yes, correct, correct. All of you know, yes, very nice. So all of you are listening to me, thank God. So next tip number 9, table dodging. Table dodging should be done more often. This is so important. When we are doing multiplication in the class, if it is a 2-digit number, so for example, multiplication by 17, they do not know the table of 17. They first multiply with 7 and then with 1 and then they add in the rough work and then they write their answer. And it is so important. The time is so important in mathematics exam. Always they are complaining that maths exam was lengthy because they do not know these things. So we have to cultivate this in them. They should, and it is not in the regular class. Like you must be having your regular syllabus. Maybe during the, you have whatever you have planned in your class that has been done and 5 minutes are still left. So you can done this with them. You can do this with them. That table dodging can be done, and this can be done even during your substitution periods. How to engage the students in substitution periods. And all the teachers are complaining that we are getting lots of substitution, but you can engage your students in this manner in the substitution class also, table dodging, and show them horizontal multiplication, not vertical multiplication, so that they don't waste their time. So this is so important. I do it in my class all the time. I do not do rough work. I do it on the board, the horizontal multiplication, and I tell them that how I have multiplied. So this you have to make it a habit for them. Next, tip number 10, encourage them to do mental maths. So this is like 44 plus 63. I think this is a revision for most of you. You must be knowing that 40 plus 60, you can take round off these numbers to the nearest 10. So 40 plus 60 and remaining 4 and 3 can be added later on. Similarly, now this is social media is the in thing these days. So instead of introducing them the variables, this can be done from grade 2, 3 onwards. We will not introduce them the variables x and y. We'll introduce them some interesting symbol for them, maybe a smiley or a WhatsApp symbol. 55 plus WhatsApp is 60. Then what is the value of WhatsApp plus 29? I'm sure all of them will give you the answer because they will see this sign, WhatsApp symbol. They will be all interested. Then 17 plus Facebook is 30, and Facebook into Instagram is what? So first they have to find the value of Facebook and then find the value of Instagram and write their answer. So, and they will be too happy to do it. And we are introducing them to variables without even letting them know. If you keep this problem in X and Y, most of them will suffer and they will not be able to give you the answers. But if you introduce this with the symbol, you will make the worksheet interesting. They will be able to do it. So this way we can introduce the concept of variables to them. So next tip of the day, before I move to that, there is a question time. All of you, please, what will be the perimeter of the given figure? Don't give me the right answer. Give me the answer which most students will give you, the misconception amongst the student. I want that answer from you. The misconception amongst the students. What will be the perimeter of this given figure? What will be the perimeter of the given figure? The misconception amongst the student, I want that. The misconception, they add perimeter of a circle with rectangle. Great, great, great. Yes, this is what they do. They add the two perimeters. Yes, Shweta has written, then Janki has written the same thing. Area of circle and area of rectangle. Yes, not area, perimeter. Yes, correct. This is the answer. And you see, this question was asked in ISC exam this year, in this year board paper, in grade 12 board paper. There was a question that there is a field, rectangular field with two semicircular ends, and we have to find the dimensions of the field so that the area of the field is maximized. So the students have started with this perimeter. They have written of this figure as perimeter of rectangle plus perimeter of the circle, and they could not find their answer. So that means the concept of perimeter is not there. So I'll move to that. First, you tell me that application of calculus in daily life. Why this? They have given this question that given the perimeter was given something like 1200 or 1240. I don't exactly remember, but they have given the boundary of the perimeter, and we have to find the dimensions of the rectangle. I'm not asking you to solve these questions. I just want to ask that what is the application of this question, that they want to find the maximum area for this field. This is a playing field. So they want to find the dimensions of the rectangles to maximize the area. What is the practical application of this in daily life? Yes. Yes. What is the practical application of calculus? This question which I have told you, that given the perimeter, we have to find the dimensions. We have to find the dimensions so that the area is maximum. Yes, differentiation will be used. Yes. But what is the application in daily life? Rakesh Saxena has written differentiation will be used. Yes, it will be used. But what is the application of this question? Why are they asking this? Maxima, minima. Yes, but why are they asking? To find the dimensions x and y. To find the dimensions x and y. Because they are asking this. Any other answers? They're asking this so that the players get the maximum area to play. That is why we have to maximize the area. We have to find the dimensions given the boundary will remain same. The boundary will not change. The boundary will not change. Only we have to find the dimension to maximize the area so that players get the maximum area to play. So this is the, yes, maximum light. Yes, that is also one of the question in grade 12. Yes. So there is one more question like that. You tell me, given the surface area of a certain amount of material, we have to make a cylindrical can to maximize its volume. What is the application of this question? Given the surface area of a particular material, maybe a tin, we have to make a cylindrical can to maximize the volume. What is the application of it in the daily life? Given the surface area, I'm repeating my question. Given the surface area of a material, we have to find the dimensions, maybe a radius and height of a cylindrical can to maximize the volume. So what is the application of this? Yes, great, great. Maximum quantity can be filled. Shweta has written. Yes, connection. Yeah. Maximum space. We want maximum space. This much amount of material is given to us. Out of that material, we have to make a cylindrical can so that we have maximum volume. So more thing can, maybe a jam bottle, more jam can go inside that bottle. That is why we have to maximize the volume. Great. So this is the common misconception which I was telling. The students will write this answer and the right answer would be this. So this is not clear to the students what is perimeter. So we have to, this is the next tip, tell them that perimeter is the length of the boundary only. So they have to consider boundary when it is a single figure, maybe a rectangle or a circle, they are able to tell. But when it is a combined figure, they tend to add both of them and they do not look at the boundary. So this has to be revised again and tell them to derive the formula of perimeter of rectangle, square. When you are introduced those topics in grade 6, they will be deriving those formulas on their own once they learn what is perimeter. Next question. Next tip. Okay. This also I do most often in the class. Take a wire or a thread in the math class and make a square out of it and then make a circle out of the same wire and ask them what did not change in the process. Please write down the answer for this. What did not change in the process? If you take a wire or a thread in the math class and you make a square and a circle out of it. Yes, maximum space, your previous answer, yes. Great. Very good. Perimeter will not change. Not area, perimeter. Perimeter will not change. Yes, correct. So this we have, because the length of with the same length, and length is nothing but the perimeter. So with the same wire, we are making a circle, we are making a square, and the length of the wire did not change. That means the perimeter will not change. So this way you have to show them this in the class. Next thing is same way we can ask what would not change if one 3D shape is converted into another 3D shape. That was a 2D shape. Square and a circle was a 2D shape. Now cone is changed into a sphere. Then what will not change? So you have to ask such questions in the class and we have to derive these answers from the students. So that is so important. It has to be a student-centric class. Next tip. And now you have to answer this. Why are the racing tracks circular in shape and not straight? Why are the racing tracks circular in shape and not straight? What is the reason, do you think? Why are the racing tracks circular in shape and not straight? Yes, correct, perimeter. Very good. Right. Who has written? Aditi has written. Yes. They can come back to the same position. No. Because it occupies more. Yes. So that means the perimeter, the circumference of the outer circle is more and circumference of the inner circle is less. So if the runner which is running on the outside circle, he has to run more distance. So that is why he will stand a bit ahead. The difference between the circumference of the two circles. That is later on. But right now, I'm not asking that. I'm asking you that why it is circular. More distance can be covered. More distance means, yes, in a way you are right. Rajeshwari has written, if it is square, race will be biased. Okay, I'm not asking straight, square. I'm asking why it is not straight. We can make it a straight also, straight track. Why it is not so? Audience, very good. Audience can view the cars to cover more distance, but area, yes, Shruti has written the right answer. To cover more distance and area occupied will be less. And one more has written to see the cars ending, the race will be ending over there only, and the spectators will be able to see it clearly. They will be able to see this clearly, the end result. They don't have to use their binoculars. Otherwise, the players, I don't know if it is straight, where will they go, and we will not be able to watch them only. And secondly, it will, the stadium will occupy more area if you make them straight. So this way they are occupying less area, and also they are the spectators will be able to see the end result of the race. That is why they are. So these are inculcating mathematical skills amongst the student, and it is making your subject more interesting. That is why these questions are so important, and you don't have to take out a time for this. You will get sufficient time in the class when you can ask these questions, maybe towards the end of your class. This I do quite often in the class. Next, why do athletes stand some distance apart in the beginning of the race? Please write the answers. Why do athletes stand some distance apart in the beginning of the race? Yes. Why do? Yeah, 100-meter race is okay, but when it is long race, then it is required. Circular tracks are required. Circumference is different. Yes, correct. Aditi, again, Aditi has written circumference is different. Difference in circumference of the outer and inner circle. That is the reason. So this question should come from students. If students are not asking these questions to you, then you need to ask these questions to them, and do not give them the answers right away. Take some time, maybe tell them, you please come the next day, you can ask them the same question. You think about it and tell me the answer tomorrow. So let them find out the answer. Do not give the answer right away to them. Here I'm getting the right answers from you because you people are so good. You know your maths. But our students, they might not be knowing it. So we have to ask these questions to them, and we have to find the answers from them instead of giving it right away. So athletes stand some distance apart because of that difference in circumference. Otherwise, the runner who is at the outer circle, he has to run the more distance. That is why he will stand some distance ahead of the other runner. So next question. Which maths concept is required to make the food tastier? Anyone is feeling hungry right now? Which maths concept is required to make the food tastier? Tea time. It's tea time for everyone. Yes, which maths concept is required to make the food tastier? Measurements, proportion, ratio. Excellent. Excellent. Meena Bansal has also written ratio and proportion. Ratio. Yes, correct. Yes, ratio and yes, quantity. Excellent. Everyone has written ratio and proportion. In one go, you have written straight away. Yes. So, yes, ratio and proportion. Whoever is the cook, he knows his ratio and proportion well. Then only he can make the food tastier. Otherwise, you will not find it tasty. To knead the dough, how much water has to be put inside the dough? That one should know to make the food. So maths concepts are not only required for engineering and all, they are also required for cooking the food. Next, why do we take a bigger vessel to cook a small quantity of rice? These questions you need to ask students. Why do we take a bigger vessel to cook a small quantity of rice? Yes, correct. Ratio and proportion, the previous answer. Sneha has written. Yes, fraction. Okay. For faster cooking. Okay. Faster cooking will take bigger vessel. For that, we'll take steam cooker or something, no? Very good. Expand. Jalpa Mistry has written expands. What volume increase is great. Volume increases, Monica has written. Yes, volume will increase. Volume of the rice will increase. If we take a smaller vessel, the rice will fall, isn't it? It will come out of the container. So it has to be a bigger vessel to cook. We have to take a bigger vessel to cook a small quantity of rice, and we have to explain volume through this to students. So this is another tip of the day. Next tip. We'll ask this to students. Where have they observed pie charts, bar graph, etc.? Where have they observed pie chart, bar graph? Yes, volume expansion. Very good. Yes, correct. So now you tell me, where have they observed pie charts, bar graphs, etc.? Where will students observe them? Where have they observed pie charts, bar graph, etc.? Google reviews, very good. Newspaper, right. Cricket matches, yes. How much the batsman has scored on the onside, offside, they show through pie chart. How many runs are made in 15th over, 16th over, they show it through bar graph, correct. Weather forecast, great. So many answers. So this, we have to get these answers from the students. All of us know this, but our students do not know these answers. They might be knowing it, they might not be knowing it, but you have to make this subject interesting. We have to inculcate this interest in them in mathematics. They should not fear from mathematics. So we have to inculcate the interest in mathematics, and pie charts, bar graph, you are also making in your school for your exam, first term exam, second term exam, you are making bar graphs to see their performance in the first term and the second term. How many have scored above 90%, how many have scored above 80%? This you do the by double bar graph, isn't it? So that also you can tell them. We take out the mean, median, mode. They should know the difference between mean, median, mode. What is the difference between the measures of central tendency? What is the meaning? We just don't have to give them the formula of mean, median, mode. We have to explain them that what is mean, what is median, and what is mode. So that is also there. So this is the next thing. Why is 1 cubic meter so important? Why is 1 cubic meter is 1000 liters and 1000 cubic centimeter is 1 liter? We just give them this formula and we tell them you apply this formula in your problems, and they end up doing it wrong. So you just explain it to me, if you can explain it to me, that why is 1 cubic meter 1000 liters and 1000 cubic centimeter is 1 liter? If anyone can explain this. Yes, election result, great. We are giving the answer for the bar graph and pie charts. Yes, comparing subject in previous periodic test. Great. Stock market, right. Fraction. COVID increase. Great answer. So many answers I'm getting. So we are exchanging knowledge here. Sharing knowledge. Yes. Now, why is 1 cubic meter 1000 liters? Yes, matches. Cube unit, okay. Okay, then any other answer other than this? Volume of 1 meter by, very good. Volume of 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. Then height. Any other answer? Gona Joshi has written. Then stock market. This is the previous answer, I believe. Any other answers other than this? Why is 1 meter cube 1000 liters? 100 centimeter in 1 meter. Okay. 10 times. Okay. Okay. It multiplies. Okay. See, the child will be wondering that what is the meaning of 1 cubic meter. So 1 cubic meter means 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. So this means like they do not know how long is 1 meter. We have told them 1 meter is 100 centimeter, but they do not know exactly. They cannot measure the length. Just ask them if they have seen a meter rod in the cloth shop. If they have not seen, tell them that if you measure from the middle of the neck and stretch out your hand, right hand, and from this much distance is approximately 1 meter. So this is so big. So 1 cubic meter means 1 meter length, 1 meter breadth, and 1 meter height, a cube of this size. 1 meter length, this big cube is a very big container. It's a very big container. So it will contain 1000 liters. And similarly, 1000 cubic centimeter is 10 centimeter. You can show them on the scale. It will be available in the class. So 10 centimeter height, 10 centimeter breadth and height. You can see that it is this small a container. It is very small a container. So it will contain only 1 liter of liquid. So that way, if you explain them, they will remember it forever. They will never forget it. Isn't it? Don't you feel so? So if you explain it to them like this, they will always remember this. Correct ratio of ingredients. Okay, that is the previous answer. A liter is a unit of volume equal to volume of 10 centimeter sized. Yes, so you have to explain them how big this container is. They do not know the measure of this container. 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter will be a very big container. Isn't it? So that you have to show them. So this is a very important thing which you can explain to the students. Now, next tip number 20, teach them LCM using clapping activity. This I use most of the time in grade 10 also, because you know, see, there is a problem when will the bells ring together. And this is the ice-breaking activity to come out of the boredom. You can, real numbers, it's a very dry chapter, you know. So just to come out of it, you just use this activity. What I do, I divide the class. Suppose we have to find the LCM of 3 numbers. I divide the class into 3 groups. Group 1 will clap when I say a multiple of 2. Group 2 will clap when I say a multiple of 4. Group 3 will clap when I say a multiple of 6. So I keep on saying the numbers. When the multiple of 2 comes, then one group is clapping. When 4 is coming, sometimes 2 and 4 both are clapping. And when the LCM comes, that is 12, everybody will clap in the class. And they enjoy it so much. Everyone will clap in the class. That means together. When are they doing it together? That is the LCM. So when are the bells ringing together? They have to find the LCM. They will never forget this question in their life. If you teach them LCM using this activity, they will never forget this question, how to do this question. So many questions are based on this. It is in grade 6 as well as in grade 10. So we can do it twice. Okay, so teachers are supposed to do these activities in the class to make their class interesting and bringing back the interest in the subject. Okay, so yes, thank you so much, Martha. Thank you, Shiva. Okay, next activity. Some tips. Next tip is 21, tip number 21. This is so important. They have learned it in grade 5 and they are using again in grade maybe 8 or 9 and they have forgotten everything. The metric system, they have forgotten in grade 8 and 9. When they come to grade 7, 8, 9, they have forgotten already. So this is the mnemonic to remember it. King Harry died. Mother did not cry much. King, K stands for kilo. H stands for hectare. D stands for deca. M stands for meter, and over here liter also and gram will also be there, like kilogram or kiloliter or hectoliter, hectameter. So did not means deci. D stands for deci. Here there are 2 D's, so you have to explain the difference. Cry is centi, C is centi, M is milli. So explain it to them when they are going up this ladder. They have to multiply the number of steps. Suppose from kilometer to meter we have to convert. We are going 3 steps up. So you have to multiply the number with 10 to the power 3. When they are going down the ladder, they have to multiply by the number of, they have to divide by the number of steps they are going down. For example, millimeter to decimeter. So then we are going 2 steps down. So we will be dividing by 10 to the power 2. So this is so important and they have forgotten. And this I repeat in the class for them so that they remember and they enjoy it. When I do it with the mnemonic, they enjoy it. And there are more mnemonics for trigonometry also we do. Some people have curly black hair, turns permanently brown. Those all kinds of mnemonic, if we use in the class, it becomes like teaching in a fun manner. So they will remember it. So this is during conversions when you are going up this ladder, multiply by 10 to the power number of steps gone up. And while going down, divide by 10 to the power number of steps gone down. So this way, you will be able to engage your class. So these tips are important in this. Now, the last tip, which works for everyone, not only for students, for us, for everyone. Be in whatever profession you are into. Appreciation. It works everywhere. See, when I was in grade till grade 10, I was an average student. I was a hardworking student always, but I was an average student in maths, not that good. But then in grade 11, something happens. My teacher appreciated my efforts. What I did during my summer vacations, I did the chapter before the teacher. And when I went back to school, one question which she gave, she could not solve, and that question I had solved. And I got appreciated by her for that effort. So that is still in my mind, and that has encouraged me to work harder. I became more focused. So appreciation, see, hard work anyone can do, but it has to be a focused hard work. It has to be with enthusiasm. So we have to appreciate our students genuinely for their small efforts. Make the other students clap for a particular student, or you can give him or her a chocolate, or you can say nice words to him so that he remembers it forever. So this is so important. Appreciation works everywhere. So this is the last tip of the day. And what I feel that this is the need of the hour. This is the summarization of the whole. Plan your lessons well. So for planning them well, we should know that what is the prerequisite knowledge to solve that particular question. So that we have to explain to the students. It has to be a student-centric class. Each student should be involved in the class, and we have to inculcate in them the passion for the subject by asking the questions which I had asked you people. You can ask same questions, and you can share more questions of yours with them and make the class interesting. This way they will love your subject. Don't you think so? Yes or no? They will love your subject. So this is all for today. And what I feel, if you share your knowledge, it will be your growth and your progress. So I'm sharing with you my mail ID. You can note it down, and please share your tips with me. I would be too happy to learn those tips and apply them in my class. I want to learn more. I want to make my class interesting. So you must be having few tips. Please write to me at anukhosla@ivws.org or anukhosla1@gmail.com. So thank you so much. Over to you, Harsha.
Yes, ma'am. There is a question by one of the teachers, ma'am. She wants to know about you to explain table gorging, ma'am.
Table dodging. Table dodging is, ma'am, for example, 17 fives are. Just, you don't have to go like 17 eights are, 18 fives are. That way you need to ask the students in the class. This is called table dodging. They should be able to remember each and every table at least till 20. Table of 25 is easy. They should know the table of 25, table of 30. So you have to ask from in between. It's not that they will not go in particular order, like 18 ones are 18, 18 twos are 36, not like that. You have to ask from in between, like 18 fives are is what, or 19 fives are is what. That is called table dodging.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the reply. I think we need to wait for a minute or two, ma'am, for the teacher participants to
Yes,
put the question.
Sure. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your nice comments.
Ma'am, Kamini ma'am is asking, could you please once again explain about LCM?
LCM, yes. LCM, when you have to find LCM of three numbers, divide your class into three groups, and you tell them that suppose the numbers are which I had taken smaller numbers only, 2, 4, and 6. So one group will clap on the multiple. When I will be saying the numbers to them, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So when the multiple of 2 comes, the first group will clap. When I say the multiple of 4, the second group will clap. When I say the multiple of 6, then the third group will clap. And when I say 12, all of them will clap, because 12 is the LCM of those 2, 4, and 6. So that is how you'll explain. Then when it is together, because the question is, when will the bells ring? They are ringing at these intervals. 16 minutes, 18 minutes, something like that. And when will they ring together? So together means finding the LCM. LCM is the one number which is divisible by all the numbers. So when you say the multiple of 12, all the students will clap together. That means together means LCM.
Thank you for the reply, ma'am. Another teacher is asking about horizontal multiplication, ma'am. If you could
Horizontal
explain
multiplication.
Yeah.
Horizontal multiplication is like vertically you will not be writing the numbers. You will be writing the numbers. I could have explained you if I can write over here. I'll see if I can write like 20. Suppose it is 15 into 16. So 16 fives are 80. So you'll write 0 and then 8 carry over. Then 16 ones are 16 and 8 was carry over. So 16 plus 8, you will do it all in one go. If I can write over here, I don't know whether I can write. Um, I don't have my tablet right now with me. If you can see here, like if I write, can you see? Can it be seen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. If you can just yeah, yes, ma'am.
So
It is
15
visible.
into
It is visible.
15 into 16. So you will write straight away 16 fives are 80, 0. 8 carry over. 16 ones are 16 and 8 is 24. So in one go, you will be doing the multiplication without doing the rough work. Otherwise, what they do like this 15 vertical. They will write this and then they will multiply with 6 first and they will multiply with 1 and then they will add. So that is a time consuming process. So instead of doing this, do it horizontally like this. So make this a habit in the class. So students will also start doing like that. Any other questions?
Thank you for the reply, ma'am. Uh, Ma'am, Monica ma'am is asking for suggest some tips or activities for classes 11 and 12.
11 and 12, see, all that is what I was going to say, that everything cannot be explained, but yes, we can tell them the applications. Like for example, if we are doing linear programming problems, so we can tell them the application that suppose you become a dietitian, how to optimize the nutrients in your diet, that we can tell them. And you can do probability activities with them using dice and cards, and you can give them a moral lesson regarding like this you see, when they play these games in the these fairs, so they will not, they are all probability games and there are very little chances of winning over there. So that moral lesson can be given to them using these tips, like you will be winning 10 rupees if you are throwing the die. Six comes 3 times, and what is the chances. So that way you can explain it to these activities. Probability activities can be done in the class. And the applications, not all applications can be done, because some things are meant for engineering. If they are going for engineering, if they are going to do space research, if they are going to become a cartographer, trigonometry will be used. So not everything can be doable in the class, but yes, you can do you can tell them the application of linear programming, you can tell them the application of calculus. All these things can be explained to them. So, but not everything, because you must have also seen that it is beyond the scope of this book. They have written in the book that it is beyond the scope of this book. So that will be used later on when they go for higher studies. So those concepts will be used. The sine hyperbolic function will be used, cos hyperbolic functions will be used. So many things will be taught to them later, but this is just, we are just building the base for that.
Thank you for the reply, ma'am. Varsha ma'am is asking how to prepare students for learning tables.
Yes, learning tables. See, you can do one activity when they are quite young, maybe in grade 2 and 3. This I had learned also in a workshop. Like you can arrange straws. If you have straws, you can arrange straws, and you can place straws in vertical manner. Like suppose table of 2 they are doing initially, then and make one line. 2 ones are 2. So here, this is the intersection point. There are 2 intersection point. So this is 2. So I'll just use straight line. It will be better. So these are two straws, and we are doing two ones are two. So there are two intersection points. Two twos are four. Over here there are four intersection points. Two threes are six. So they can learn like this, and then you can introduce a table of three. Suppose there are three straws, then three ones are, this is three ones are three. There are three intersection points. Three twos are six. So there are six intersection points. If three threes are nine, there are nine intersection points. So this activity can be done when the students are young, initial years. But later on, when they grow up, you have to repeat it. There is no other way. You have to repeat it all the time. You have to repeat it all the time so that they learn the tables. But these activities can be done during the initial years. There are, I think, which I am not aware, in Vedic maths and in other abacus and all, those students, but I do not know those methods. They can do it very fast. So those methods can also be applied, but those methods should not be taught to the students at a very young age. I feel that should be taught later on. But initially, they should learn the tables.
Thank you for the reply, ma'am. One more, Maheshwari ma'am is asking about the activities like in trigonometry, ma'am. How to do the activities in trigonometry?
In trigonometry, what we have done. See, cleidometer is an instrument which measures the angle of elevation and angle of depression, but that is not available easily in all schools, in all school labs. So we can tell them to make models. We had done, we have made the models that a ladder is going up, and then we can explain through models that how we are calculating the distance. That activity we have done in school. We have made the models in the class using cardboards, and all those things had been done. But we need to have a cleidometer to measure the angle of elevation and angle of depression. So that will be a bit difficult to arrange maybe in the school, but you can always tell them that there is an instrument which measures angle of elevation and angle of depression. So that way or not all things can be done, but we can make models out of it. We can make models that the ladder is standing against a wall and this is making some angle of elevation. That model can be done by the students. Any other?
Thank you for the reply, ma'am. Sneha ma'am is telling that Monty Hall problem can be done in probability. That is one of the tips she's.
Okay. Thank you so much, and please share it with me. I would love to hear from you, Sneha. So please share it with me in my mail ID, and I will be going through it. What is that? Any other inputs you want to
Rakesh sir is asking, can we use these multiplications in all the classes, like maybe lower or primary?
Yes. We have to use that because it will increase their mental maths. Mental maths is so important. They are not able to calculate the prices when it comes to decimals. Maybe they are buying 100 gram of some vegetable or 250 grams. They are not able to calculate the prices. So that mental maths have to be very strong. We should not give calculators to students at a very young age. We have to increase their mental maths, and then only they will be able to succeed. I think it is so important for that tables should be there throughout. Throughout, we should ask these things to them. And approximation, they do not know how long is 1 meter, how much weight does 1 kg have. Suppose you give them a bag of 2 kgs of potatoes and ask them that what should be the weight of the bag. They can give approximate answers. So that way they can approximately feel that 5 kg would weight like this, 2 kg would weight like this. So that approximations they are not aware of. So we should introduce more of these activities in the class. Any other?
Yes, ma'am. I think we have exhausted the questions right now. So
Okay.
if there are any questions, we'll let you know, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Anu Khosla, for a very engaging and informative session for our community of teachers today. I am sure that our teachers have got a lot of takeaways from this session. Thank you so much, all the participants, for engaging with us today. To register for more such upcoming webinars, please visit My Center. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you to all the
Thank you so much.
participants.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much.